Keith. In this video I want to talk about creating healthy boundaries. I want to talk about some stuff that I never hear anybody talk about ever. And if we try to bring this stuff up to other people, especially other men, they'd be like, what are you talking about, bro? You just gotta crush it. You just gotta smash it. Start the video out with that stuff, right? But I'm serious here. And all the self-help books that I've read, well, most of them, and a lot of the success stuff that you can get in the audiobooks and the programs and the motivation stuff, nobody ever talks about what I'm going to talk about. Everybody says, get the sale, crush it, grow your company, make all this money, smash it. Well, what I would like to talk about in this video is if you don't have healthy boundaries, or maybe there's some of us were mentally or emotionally abused as kids. I know it sounds it's not funny, but mentally or emotionally abused or grabbed and screamed at as kids, or ignored, or things like that. Even grown men can be walking around with a suffering, a pathology, and emotional blocks, and a lot of pain and hurt inside. So it can be hard to go out in the real world and grow an actual landscaping business or any type of business when first of all, it takes a lot of deep skills that are very, like the elusive obvious. It takes a lot of deep inner skills of being successful and organized on the inside before you can ever go out and be successful on the outside. Quick little example, like something in my company, just because I pay somebody to work for me, or somebody pays me, does not give me the right to ever treat anybody wrongly, or dominate them, or say my way or the highway, because this is my freaking company and I pay you. I believe that a grown man can hide behind his fears and emotions and lack of healthy boundaries just because he pays another man, and he could hide behind that. And I believe there are a lot of bosses and businessmen who aren't really healthy, and they're just dominators because they're actually afraid. I experienced this in my company. I had somebody work for me who was a toxic employee, or it was just, it didn't work out, right? Several years back. And this person was extremely intelligent. It's easy for me to talk about this now, but at the time, this person was so intelligent that he learned my company inside and out and knew more about the mechanics of my business than even me, and demanded more money and wanted this and wanted that, and was constantly throwing all these expectations of what he expected out of me as a boss, to the point where I was in complete anxiety even working with the person that worked for me, right? This very person was able to rise so much anxiety in me that this person was able to suck me even into his frame, where I felt like I was working for him. If you've been in business long enough, you're gonna go through something like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? My buddy William said this to me once, the tree guy with the crazy beard. He said, you ever on a job site and you feel like your workers, you're working for them? There's this paradigm shift that'll happen in you. And so, and then the reciprocal of that is healthy boundaries. Unhealthy boundaries where it's my way or the highway, and you're an asshole boss, and then you just, like, you're egotistical and you think you're that's all bullshit. But there's an even deeper level to this, and that is you can be afraid to even look another man in his eyes and say, go trim those shrubs, or go over there and pull that weed, or cut that lawn, pull the weeds, or cut that lawn, or wash those windows, or whatever it is, to the point where you can stay up all night in anxiety because you're afraid to look your own employee in the eye, or maybe you're afraid to even hire your first employee because you're just terrified to tell somebody what to do. Like, you may not have that issue, but I guarantee there's a whole percentage of guys watching that are like, I'll never be able to grow my company because I'm flipping terrified to tell other men what to do. What do I own them? What do I control them? What if they look at me and say, no, fuck you, I'll beat your fucking ass, give me $25 an hour? Like, but I know I'm joking around, but this is really deeper than I can even speak or communicate. There's so many boundaries and psycho-emotional issues and stuff you got to work out as a man, as a business owner, as a spiritual being. I'm serious, to get to the point where you can build a healthy business, where you can build healthy relationships with people. I interviewed a guy today who was like 38 years old, been landscaping for like 20 years, and I was surprised at how comfortable I was to able to sit across from the table and interview and ask him the questions that I wanted to ask him, and not hover around and avoid certain topics. I said, you know, damn it, this is my business. This topic we kept avoiding in the interview, and I said, this topic is most important to me, right? I need a guy who can drive my trucks, right? What happened to Forrest? I think Forrest he quit and he's joining the military. I don't know. More power to him. I got his back. Forever, dude. Forrest is a great guy. If he's welcome to come back anytime that he wants. But anyways, I'm hiring guys right now, right? And maybe just a couple guys, right? But the reason I like to keep my business small is because I'm not ready to take on that level until I have more of that worked out inside of me. And I know I could blow up my company, but I don't want to, because I want to make sure every step that I take is rooted in balance and rooted in structure and rooted in truth and harmony, because I don't ever want to find myself at the top of a company one day where I'm completely miserable and I feel like I'm some type of like control freak. And even that could be a hallucination. So we all have these different things to work out inside of us. But the reason I like to share this stuff is because my first year in business, I remember all I had was this shitty Blue Goose truck, and I hired a guy, and the first time he showed up to work and hopped in my truck, I was so embarrassed, dude. I was cleaning out the truck and I was like, don't apologize, just don't say anything. Oh my God, he's hopping in my shitty truck. Oh fuck, dude. Oh my God, okay, we're going to the first job. Oh my God. Because when you start a business and you don't have any money, you get totally exposed to how successful you are not, right? I mean, it just keeps going on more and more and more levels. And it's really funny when just something as simple as, say, you can't afford professional $50 hand pruners, so you keep buying the cheap ones. You're buying the cheap shovels, you're buying the cheap shit because you can't afford the good shit. And the employees are breaking them, and then they're upset and they're frustrated. And they're like, why don't you buy the best shit? What if your worker came up to you and said, this keeps breaking. Why don't you buy the $50 shovel so they don't break, Keith? Huh? Joe, Matt, Bob? Why don't you buy the really good tarps that don't rip? Why don't you buy a $20,000 lawn? Why don't we have a 2500 HD drafter? What is it? Fuck this company. And I've had to say to people who work for me before, I'm not there yet. So I think that, you know, maybe you'd be better off going and working for a huge company. You know, we can grow here. We can grow here together, but maybe you should go work for a big company where you could just walk in and it'd be a great experience. You know, I'm not holding you here. You get what I'm saying? And it's really, now the defensive side of that, there's some truth in the defensive side is, hey dude, I got my own company and you're working for me. If you've got so much say so and you know how shit should be, then why don't you go start your own damn company and see, you call my ass up in a year saying, oh dude, man, I can't believe now I know what you're going through. I can't believe I was placing these expectations on, and I there's so many sides and angles to so many situations, and it's all true and it's all relative in so many ways. It's just fascinating. I love being in business because it puts your ass up against the wall and it forces you to look at yourself. It forces you to see your every mistake and your every inhibition and your every fear under a fucking magnifying glass. It exposes you to make you feel like you're being burned, man. Like, you ever put a magnifying glass on a newspaper that burns? You're like, having an anxiety attack, and you gotta work through that, because if you deny it, you can deny it and hide it and, you know, put it under the club cover or something like that, and then still go out and be successful. But that lie will always be there. That lie will always be there. There's so many fears and anxieties associated with being in business. It's an amazing opportunity. Okay, so I want to make more videos like this, and I will. And I appreciate you so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. And even though I'm not answering the comments, because now I get so many comments, I read every single comment. I just don't have time to answer them. And I do got some gifts that I'll be making a gift video soon. And peace.